I now want to discuss how to write an abstract, which is the summary in scientific reports. Now, in essence, an abstract for a study tends to comprise one or two sentences on 5 distinct facets. I will now discuss each of these 5 facets. We will then judge whether the abstract in the slide, a summary about a study that explores the effects of doodling, fulfills these principles. First, the abstract should comprise 1 or 2 sentences that highlight or justify the importance of this study. These sentences could describe a problem that needs to be solved, for example. Now, in this particular slide, the first 2 sentences sort of define doodling, but I don't really feel these sentences justify the importance of this study. These sentences don't really clarify why doodling needs to be studied. Perhaps the sentences could have read, research indicates that students often seem distracted during lectures and doodle frequently, yet researchers have not explored whether doodling amplifies, signifies, or offsets this distraction, or something like that. Second, the abstract should comprise 1 or 2 sentences that clarify the aim of this study. In this example, the aim is implied by the phrase, to answer this question. This phrase refers to the sentence, does doodling improve or hinder attention to the primary task? So therefore, in this instance, the aim is sort of implied rather than explicit. Now, I prefer a more explicit description of the aim, but nevertheless, this implicit reference to the aim is acceptable as well. Third, the abstract should comprise 1 or 2 sentences that describe the method. Now, only include enough details to help the reader understand the study so they can visualise the study. In essence, you would primarily describe the activities that participants completed. You might also refer to other key features that sort of differentiate this study from past research. These sentences are suitable in this particular slide, I feel. The abstract first describes the basic task, such as the notion that 40 people monitored a telephone message, and the abstract indicates how half of these participants were encouraged to doodle, implying the other participants were not. Fourth, the abstract should comprise 1 or 2 sentences that describe the key results as explicitly as possible, but don't include too many minor details, but still try to be quite concrete to help the reader really understand the core results. In this example, I feel the results were described quite clearly. The author indicates which participants performed the task best, and even provided one tangible statistic to really help the reader understand or visualise the results. Finally, the abstract usually includes 1 or 2 sentences that clarify like the implication or conclusions. In this instance, the implication is that doodling may be effective. And furthermore, these sentences could specify how a practical implication or future research could be undertaken. But avoid generic statements that apply to all sentences, such as future research is needed to clarify the issue, because actually future research is always needed to clarify the issue. I have now specified the key sentences you need to include. But I now want to specify 4 principles you should follow when writing an abstract. First, assume the reader has accrued no knowledge about the topic. So don't use terms they could not understand. Write as simply as possible. Second, check the word limit. For some scientific journals or assignments, the abstract should be 150 words or less. But for other scientific journals or assignments, the abstract must be 200 words or less, and many other word limits are recommended in different circumstances. Third, the abstract should usually comprise 1 paragraph with no headings. Usually the heading abstract appears above, often centred and in bold. A few journals suggest variations, such as actually subheadings within the abstract, or even videos or pictures embedded within the abstract. But these variations are not common yet. Fourth, don't include unnecessary details, such as citations or statistical text. Topics I'll discuss later, unless absolutely necessary. Finally, I indicated you should dedicate 1 or 2 sentences to each facet, but sometimes you might need more sentences. Don't panic. No one will lynch you for this behaviour, provided you don't exceed the word limit.